The following program is a paid presentation. The views and/or opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the staff and management of KWAM. Welcome to the Variety Hour on AM 990, where local leaders talk Memphis.
Listen to you move your mouth. I bet you come from way down south. Now don't tell me, let me guess, you from the town that I love best. Talk Memphis, I wish you would. Talk Memphis, you sound so good. Talk Memphis, high on the bluff. I swear I can't get enough. Listening to you talk that stuff. Talk Memphis, oh yeah, talk Memphis.
This is the Memphis Real Estate Hour with your host, Dean Harris, on AM 990 KWAM. And now, here's your host, Dean Harris.
All right, good morning. Welcome, everybody, to the Memphis Real Estate Hour. I'm your host, Dean Harris. I'm with CrestCore Realty over on Summer Avenue. We just got a really big, nice sign out there, so you ought to be able to see us as you drive by. I want to thank you guys for tuning in here to AM 990 Memphis. Thank you guys for listening online, too, at kwam990.com. You can download the free app, or the free TuneIn app. You can take us on the run with you. That'll go wherever you go on your smartphone. The Memphis Real Estate Hour will concentrate on investing in Memphis. We also will focus on our residential real estate market. So we will have the local professionals in and to cover both topics, investing in Memphis and our residential market. I remind you guys every show that I am an investor. If you have that old home that you need to sell quickly, or if you have someone that has inherited it or they're looking to sell something quickly, give me a call. It's 901-619-6170. Guys, I don't care what kind of shape that home's in, burned out, trashed, about to fall down. Doesn't matter to me. I will get you an offer on that home within probably 24 hours. Last week on the show, Dan Butler with CrestCore Realty was in here, and we discussed why Memphis. We went into a ton of amazing reasons on why to invest in Memphis. We talked about the charities, the community development programs, cost of living, all types of different topics and reasons why to invest your money in Memphis. So that was a great show with Dan. Today's show rundown, I'm going to give you the investment of the week, which is what I like to call free money. We're going to have the listing of the week. I'll give you that as well. And then Dan is in here again today. I guess Dan needs to be just a regular on the show, but we appreciate his contributions almost on a weekly basis. So his knowledge and experience has really helped the quality of the show here move up a few levels. I'll give you the Memphis, well, actually I won't. Memphis Market Watch will be brought to you by Wendy Greenlaw of Chandler Report. She'll be in around 8:40 this morning. So let's get right to it. First, I ought to tell you and share with you, we're on Facebook Live. Dan, welcome to the show.
You committed.
Yes, I committed.
Hard commit.
I gave a soft commit last week, but we made it happen.
That's
I
right.
got a little
I'm
pressure.
proud of you.
Thank you. I got a little pressure from Dan here to get things done. So we made it happen this week. So tune in to the Memphis Real Estate Hour Facebook page, and you can see us now or see me, part of me. We'll scan through this and make sure that you get a look. There's Dan. There we go. All right. So we're happy to add that as part of the show. You can log on, of course, to Facebook through everybody's phone. I think everybody has that option. So, all right, let's talk about some free money real quick. I have got the investments of the week. So get your pens ready. There's three really good ones this week. We'll start off. Let's start off in 38111. If you guys are ready, here I go. 3000 block of Spotswood Avenue. That's in 38111. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath home, and the list price is $32,000. This thing is occupied for $600 a month. That's a great price in that area. Brick home. It doesn't look like it needs a ton of work. Patrick Cyphers over at CrestCore Realty is a listing agent on this one. So give us a call, 901-619-6170 if this one sparks some interest in you. $32,000 for the 3000 block of Spotswood Avenue, 3 bedrooms and 1 bath. So that's a good one there. All right, number 2, 1507 Sparks Cove. That's in 38106. This is a 4-bedroom house. I do not have the rental figures on this one, but 4-bedroom, 1 bath. I imagine that's a 600 rental over there.
Say 600, 650. I remember that's a nice house.
Yeah, it is.
Brand new roof, redone floors.
Yes, brick home.
Been the same tenant for over a year.
Nice. Okay, good. That's 1507 Sparks Cove, 38106. 38106 is the areas that you've been working in redeveloping,
Nonprofit,
right?
yeah.
Nonprofit.
We just started going down there. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So that's in a good little community, solid brick home with 4 bedrooms for $29,900. So that's tough to beat there. All right, one more here. 3000 block of Point Pleasant Avenue. That's in 38118. This is my favorite zip code. If you guys have been listening, you've heard me talk about 38118. I love to start out my investors over here. This is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. That's probably an 800 rental in 38118. So it's 3470 Point Pleasant Avenue, 38118, and the seller's only asking $42,294. So we got 3 good investments of the week. If you guys have got any questions about these, you can text me during the show. You can comment here on Facebook Live. Got Mr.
Good luck figuring that out.
Yeah, we got one of our preferred lenders, Chuck Jackson. He's on, so I'm happy to have Chuck with us. So those are 3 good investment properties. If you guys have questions on those, give me a call, 901-619-6170. Next on our list is the listing of the week. We try to give you guys a retail residential listing of the week as well. And this one's coming to you from Village Parkway in South Haven, 410 Village Parkway. It's 38671, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. The list price is $264. This won't last long. This is a pretty good little house, great location in South Haven, Plum Point Village subdivision. So, guys, if you have questions about this one as well, you can call me too. It's 901-619-6170. Text messages also work. So, just handed you some free money there with the investments of the week.
Appreciate
that. Oh, that's right. I mean, all you got to do is spend it, and you'll get it back.
Free.
So, I'm excited about that. If you have questions, again, call in or text, and I can help you further with that. All right, you regroup here, Dan. You ready?
Yeah, man.
All right, so we're going to jump right into this today. I normally take a break now. We're going to take it a little later in the show. We're going to jump right into this. So Dan and I have been talking over the past week, trying to give you guys more content other than, hey, we do investment houses.
Right.
You know, I'm trying to provide a little bit of a cast of my net wider, I should say.
Sure.
We're trying to provide some more information other than, hey, invest in Memphis, spend your money with us so we can earn a commission. There's more to that.
More to it.
Yeah, than what we're doing. So today we're going to talk about the 8 myth understandings between you and financial wealth.
Yeah.
So that's myth understanding, not misunderstanding.
Not miss.
That's right. Myth understanding. So, Dan, let's talk a little bit about myth understandings. What keeps people or keeps individuals from financial wealth? And I guess we're going to relate this to investing in real estate. I mean, it's all going to come back around to that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be just real estate. That's what the beauty of what we'll be talking about today. It's just financial wealth. You know, what does that look like?
What does it look like?
Yeah.
What does it look like to you then?
For me personally?
Yeah, well, just in general, maybe not you personally, because I think everybody has their own individual goals.
Correct.
You and I have the same goals. They're on different levels. You're doing something different than I, but we all have the same end result, and that's to be financially free.
Yeah, free, right.
That's right.
Financial free. Have choices.
That's right.
You know, ability to say no to things, say yes to others, and, you know, your time, freed up. Trying to think, you know, just residual income. Right. You know, assets, all that kind of ties into being, you know, financial freedom, financial wealth, those kind of things.
I like the position of leverage that it puts you in. I mean, I'm sorry, the position of power that it puts you in. Yeah. You don't.
And it's a good power, not a
bad. It gives you, like you said, choices and options. Mm-hmm. And I do believe that you make better decisions when you've got more than one choice.
Yeah, I mean, if I go back all the way to right out of college, that's why I started buying real estate. I wasn't even planning on quitting my job. Mm-hmm. You know, back then I was in manufacturing, and I just wanted choices.
That's right.
Just didn't want, you know, to quote, be working for the man. Yeah. You know, in corporate world, and that's why I started buying real estate, just to have choices. And you know, that could be a whole show on. That's actually a good topic. Just what choices come out of
investing in real estate,
because there's a ton. You know, it's not just having in a house. I mean, there's a ton of
a ton of options.
Options.
For one, it keeps and if you're in that corporate environment, this gives you an escape out of that.
That's right.
If you don't want to do that for 30 or 40 years.
Right.
Some people do, some people don't.
Yeah.
But if you don't, this gives you some of those options. And that's what you were looking for initially when you started this.
Right. That's
Not
right.
necessarily
Get out of my day job.
get
That
out of my
wasn't-
day job,
Right.
just having some choices later in life.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Gives you choices. Let's read some of this stuff. 3 personal myths. A myth: I don't need or want to be financially wealthy. I'm happy with what I have. That reminds me of the Grant Cardone, the 10X book. That sounds like the person that's unhappy anyway, that they didn't reach their goals, so they're talking themselves into why they don't need to have financial wealth.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a big myth where, people say I'm happy with what I have. I mean, I think the thing that I would challenge that is you just don't know what's going to happen in life. Like you got to, it's kind of like Rich Dad Poor Dad. If your listeners, have read that book, it's all about, the rich dad, the poor dad, education, got a raise, spent more, got an education, got all the way to PhD.
Yep.
And poor rich dad hardly had a degree, but just got after it, and created assets and created that financial freedom, that financial wealth by putting his money to work. And I think that's more about what it's, because you never know what's going to happen later in life, whether you have to take care of a mother-in-law, your own mother, father, a kid gets sick.
Life.
Yeah,
you don't ever know when it's coming.
So if you don't know you don't know what's out there to come, and if you're limiting yourself, I mean, I think that's the piece that's, that myth is that why you should pursue financial wealth is because you limit yourself on what your salary is at that time,
Right.
and most people build their spending based on their salary, right?
That's right. Most people do.
Most people do. They budget, they put 10% to savings or whatever, that not 5%, 10, 15, and then they spend this on groceries and this on vacation, and it's all compartmentalized and it's gone. So there's no money left over for those life happenings that happen to you.
That things come up.
Yeah.
Here's another myth. It doesn't matter if I want or need it. I just can't do it. I mean, how does that? You just can, or you just won't?
Won't. Yeah. That's, I think you and I've talked about that 10X book by Grant Cardone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just do it.
Right.
Get out there and make it happen.
I
think that's.
I love that, and I'm in the middle of that book now. But it's I love the way that is no excuses. You're the one that is choosing to either not do something or delay something or whatever. I'll give you a personal example.
Yeah.
This radio show is one. You know me in a long time. This
Right.
is not necessarily in my wheelhouse. I don't do a whole lot of self-promotion. I don't do a whole lot of public marketing and things for
Right.
my real estate career. It's more of a word of mouth. And this was an opportunity that presented itself just about a year ago, June
Right.
21 of last year. We started this, by the way. So just about a year into this.
Wow.
So
Almost there.
Yeah, that's right. So this was one thing that definitely brought me out of my comfort zone. And it was one thing that I thought, I've got to push to do this. It wasn't comfortable at first, but the more I've done this, the more I've gotten used to it and grown accustomed to I guess, people listening to me talk.
Yeah, I mean, I love that, what you said about the comfort zone. We were talking about that on our run this morning. We were running hills, and it was not very much fun. And we were talking, one of our friends ran the half marathon last week in Nashville, and talking about how painful experience was. And I sent him an article that the guy in Kenya that ran a full marathon in 2 hours and like 30 seconds or something. He was 24 seconds from beating 2 hours. And they had a graph on there from like the early 1908, I think is when it started. And the marathon was 3 hours.
And people have just gotten faster and
faster. It just showed the graph and then we were trying to figure out where that correlated, like shoes or understanding technology with your nutrition. But I mean, it's just slowly going down. But as soon as somebody breaks the 2 hour mark, what do you think is going to happen?
The people are going to be pushing to get better than that.
There's going to be a ton of people that do right behind, like just like the 4 minute mile,
Right.
It's the same thing with this. I mean, if you don't push yourself out of your comfort zone and say, well, I don't know. I met with a young lady last week. I just actually met her on Facebook. She was mutual friends. She reached out to me and said, I need some help getting started. And she went down these roads and nobody really wanted to help her. And I was like, well, I'll sit down with you.
Sure.
And by the time she left, she has that gut, the want to, and by the time she left, within 4 hours, I got her signed up in a wholesaler class that you're familiar with these guys that,
Yeah.
you know, she'll work underneath somebody, get taught how to wholesale houses.
Yep.
But within 6 months, she should be making deals, you know. But
Yeah, at least.
she's got a full-time job, but she's like, you know, she was, and that life piece came out when we were talking that her dad is on diabetes, can barely walk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she sees all these bills coming down the pipe, and she's like, we have no way to be ready for them.
To be ready.
She's getting after it. So,
Guys, I've got Dan Butler in the studio with me with CrestCore Realty. We are discussing the 8 myth understandings between you and financial wealth through real estate. We're just discussing some of the motivational things and some of the stuff to kind of get you off the couch, so to speak. We've done some series before here, and it's called Now I'm Ready. I really like that show, that series. I mean, that might be something that we need to bring back, especially now that we're on Facebook Live. So if you're listening, you can tune into the Memphis Real Estate Hour Facebook page, and we are live this morning. So, Dan, investing. Here's one myth that I hear, and I'm bouncing all over on you. Investing is complicated. You know.
Well, sure it is.
It's complicated. I've got some reasons. To me, it's complicated because it's your own money and it's something you haven't done before. That might be one reason. What are some of the reasons you've got that it's complicated?
Well, I mean, it's as complicated as you make it. I mean, I think that, you know, that's where you start saying, all right, educate yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, like real estate, you know, and part of it's learning your personality, who you are, and then, you know, if real estate excites you, interests you, start reading, start meeting with people, you know, and just understand, you know, what all is out there.
Right.
But then I would say pick something within real estate, you know, like that lady I just mentioned. She picked wholesaling.
Yeah, that was her way to invest.
That was her way to invest her time and money. She's parlaying herself. Now, what you know, the key to that is what she does with that money. That's a whole nother.
Yeah, that's another topic.
That's another topic. But that's, you know, if she just goes and spends it on the next, you know, whatever, that's not creating financial wealth. I mean, you know, that's missing the point. But as far as
it's creating a job.
Yeah, I mean, but as far as it being complicated, yeah, I mean, it's again goes back to personal accountability. Get off the couch, do something, get out of your comfort zone, educate yourself. You know, we did that whole series on education and finding a mentor, and
yes,
you know, I mentor a lot of people these days, and I'm still getting mentored. You know, that whole push pull mentality. You know, where I'm helping pull people along that are behind me, and I sure hope there's a ton of people still in front of me because I got a lot more I want to do in this life. And
I know your mentor, and he's very successful. Has been for years. Well, I'm sure. Speaking of this is just, you know, a conversation or a question I've had. Yeah. I imagine your conversations with him have elevated dramatically over the last 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, you trust, and he sees me putting things in action, which
that y'all talked
about. We talked about, and that gets him excited. So then he just wants to tell me more.
Yep.
You know,
share more info.
You know, and I mean, there's been plenty of lunches where I just write things on napkins, right. You know, and try to explain things. And
the old holiday ham napkin.
Yeah. And he gives me some guidance and all that stuff. So we're, you know, Douglas and I are always constantly looking for people that, you know, are ahead of us and where we want to try to go. So
my father had a famous saying, and it was famous. I think he made it famous, but and of course he didn't create it, but it was instilled into my head, and it was, you are who you hang with. And in today's, I like that from a mentor standpoint. If you surround yourself by successful people doing the right things, you're way more likely to be doing successful and right things. And it goes on the opposite end of the scale too.
Yeah, you always hear me talk about statistics and math. I mean, if you hang out with druggies and parents that are letting them do all kinds of things, your kid's probably
that's what they are,
going down that path. But if they're, you know, motivated and driven and student body president and treasurer and giving back in the community, I mean, that's probably what you're going to be doing, you know, right?
Yeah, well, and I learned it too. Of course, he wasn't telling me that because I was hanging out with the right people. You know, I mean, that came from, you know, of course, a mistake hanging out with the wrong people.
So how many years did that take you to learn?
Oh, man, I don't know that I've quite learned it yet.
Take that off the radio.
My group of friends, are you kidding me? I still hadn't learned it.
That's why this is a big deal for you to do Facebook Live.
I'm on Facebook Live. Brian Ratcliffe and Corey Peterson and Hunter Myers. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Those are great friends, lifelong friends. But, guys, we're in the studio live today talking about the 8 myth understandings between you and financial wealth. I've got Dan Butler in here. We're going to take a real quick break. I've got Wendy Greenlaw that's about to come on and give us the Memphis Market Watch real quick. I'm glad to have her on. So you guys stay tuned. And, again, we're on Facebook Live. Go to the Memphis Real Estate Hour and tune in and join us this morning. You're listening to AM 990 Memphis.
Griffin, Clift, Everton, and Mashmeyer, PLLC, is a full-service law firm with over 50 years of experience in the Memphis area. Real estate closings have continued to be the forefront of their law practice, which include residential, commercial, and development real estate transactions, drafting and negotiation of real estate contracts and leases, business information, preparation of wills, probate, and estate planning. Their firm represents a number of builders, developers, investors, and local lending institutions, and is approved to close transactions for most local banks and mortgage companies. In addition, they offer title search, title examination services, and title insurance through several well-established title insurance companies in the Memphis area, as well as Tennessee and Mississippi. They strive to offer services in a prompt and timely fashion while advising and representing clients in a zealous and professional manner. Should their offered services be of need, please contact William N. Griffin Jr. or any of their attorneys at 901-752-1133. They can also be found online at www.gcemlaw.com or on Facebook.
Is it a good time to buy or refi? Is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? Are interest rates going sky high soon? Hi, I'm Ludi Calloway, the mortgage lady at iBank Mortgage. I tell my customers to ask questions, get answers. So join me every Monday morning at 8 on AM 990, and I will tell you what's going on in today's still changing mortgage world. Remember, most people think about mortgages a few times in their lives. I think about them every single day. Tune in Mondays at 8.
All right, guys, I'm here in the studio with Brad Sterling. Brad's been a part of the Memphis Real Estate Hour, but now we're with a new warranty company, Choice Home Warranty. Brad, tell me about it.
Yeah, Dean, Choice has been an industry leader in direct-to-consumer warranty sales. Now they've opened up a brand new real estate portal. Pricing begins at $420 and goes up to $550 with a low $65 trade call fee. We also have fabulous multi-year pricing, meaning you can get a 5-year warranty for the cost of 4. Call me at 901-870-2334 for more information.
Thank you, Brad. Choice Home Warranty, we're happy to have them part of the Memphis Real Estate Hour.
Now here's the Mid-South weather from the News Channel 3 Severe Weather Center, brought to you by Gossa Kia on Covington Pike, family owned and operated.
Mostly sunny, continued warm. Temperatures in the mid-80s today with winds mainly from the west. Clear, not so cold tonight. We're in the mid-60s by daybreak, back into the mid-80s on Wednesday. Watching for rain by Thursday night. Don't wait until the heat becomes overwhelming. Have Air and Heat Service check your home's cooling system. Call 662-838-8088 to learn more about preventive maintenance. I'm News Channel 3's Todd Demers on AM 990.
Now you can listen and watch too. Go to our website to listen online and see our studio cam, kwam990.com.
All right, welcome back to the Memphis Real Estate Hour. Got my boy Gil here on the tunes this morning. I love his selection of music. We just eyed each other for that style of music. So Gil and I must have been brothers.
He hooked you up today.
In another life, yes.
Music, Facebook Live.
That's right. No, yeah, Gil is solely responsible for the Facebook Live. I would have bought. There's no telling what I spent thousands of dollars on this,
and it wouldn't work.
And it wouldn't have worked. $30 and we're live. So you're listening to the Memphis Real Estate Hour, guys. Go to the Facebook page and check us out. We're live this morning. So this is going to be a new feature that we're going to make part of the show every week. So I'm excited to have that. Okay, for now we got Wendy Greenlaw here in the studio. Wendy is with Chandler Reports. Wendy, how are you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you doing?
Good. She is going to bring us our Memphis Market Watch. It is brought to you by Chandler Reports for all the latest and greatest news and information on transactions, that sort of thing. Log on to chandlerreports.com and get a subscription. I tell you what, when you came in and showed our sales staff with the capabilities of Chandler Reports, we were mopping up tongues and jaws for about 2 hours after you left. So
I appreciate it.
Yes, tell us what we've got going on in April. I think today we're going to cover April closings.
Yeah, so April was the first time in 8 months that Memphis Shelby County had a decline in home sale activity. And we're attributing that to the lack of shortage of homes available on the market. So it was the first time we had a decline in units and a decline in overall total sales revenue. So the average price is still climbing, creeping higher.
Right.
But we did have that fall off.
In April.
In April.
Is that a sign or just a one-off month?
I think it's telling that there's a shortage of homes available on the market. And that if we don't get more people to start listing and make more homes available to buy, then we're going to continue to see that
dip.
Unfortunately, yeah, because investor sales still make up 24%. So they haven't declined or dropped off.
No.
The prices on the investor purchases as well continue to go up. It's over $70,000 on average. So we just need to keep an eye on that because last year, we had a record-breaking year. So we're hoping to, continue that this year.
So at this time last year, what is the difference between April and here? Did you bring that?
April of last year and April now.
Mm-hmm.
So the number of units sold was down 7%. Average prices were up 4%, and total revenue was down 3%.
Man, I hope that's not a sign of continuation.
Well, year to date, though, we're still up. So year to date, we're still up 5% on pricing and 7% on units sold.
Yeah.
So we still have some leeway, but we're coming into the busiest season, so we're hoping that more and more people will list as schools get out.
Yeah, because this is the time. I mean, we've missed that early spring rush, so we're past
Right.
that, and now we're getting into maybe folks are trying to get settled for school systems for next year, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, good.
So investor purchases, as I mentioned, accounted for 24% of total home sales, average price $73,000. 43% of those investor purchases, out-of-town buyers.
That is growing.
Growing.
This is my data
43%.
that I go to. 43. The last we've been talking, it was 41.
Right.
So more
it's
and
bumped up.
more of our investment properties are being bought by folks out of Memphis.
And I will tell you that I know some investors that are pursuing those out-of-town buyers heavily.
Yeah, we are too.
Right.
CrestCore Realty is too.
Okay.
I've got several. I mean, I would say now over half of my clients are national guys.
Right. And a lot of this number also is the hedge funds. So
Yep.
we're not seeing FREO and we're not seeing American Homes for Rent in the first quarter of this year. We're seeing a couple other hedge funds come in, and they're purchasing out in Arlington, Cordova, Bartlett, those areas. We've seen them. And then the local investors are kind of staying within the city limits. So the Fraser area, 38118 that you love.
Love it.
38141, 38109.
Even
They're
Wendy
sticking
knows.
to those areas.
Even Wendy knows I love 3118.
We all know, Dean.
Well, good, because I got plenty of stuff to sell over there. I got good houses over there.
And then one area, I write an article each month featuring a neighborhood profile. And this month I choose Mount Arlington, which is on the eastern section of Cooper Young.
Okay.
And it is booming with investor activity, new housing activity. They had 6 new home permits pulled last year. There's flips going on. I saw one instance where a gentleman made $124,000 in 3 months on a reno. So it was a bank-owned property, sold off to a investor at a low price. He renovated it, remodeled interior, exterior, and made $124,000. Well, not that he made $124,000, but he sold it.
And for
the
that
price difference. Yeah.
Dan, you writing down that
There's
stuff today?
wholesale deals going on in there. Properties are changing hands 2-3 times on one day.
Which that's wholesale stuff.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of that going on in that area as well.
Dan,
so there's a lot of
write the subdivision down.
That's right.
there's a lot of investors, rehabbers, builders, and they're smaller homes in that area.
Yeah.
But if they fix them up, they're fetching over $170,000. The new homes, I think they're listed for like almost $300,000, which I think might be a little bit high, but we'll see if they sell.
What's your opinion on why that specific subdivision is taken off?
Well, I think it's a branch of Cooper Young, which is the hot market,
Yep.
and I think that people are just going in and seeing the opportunity for these smaller homes that haven't been touched. There's a lot of bank sale activity, foreclosure activity still going on in that area. So, an investor can come in and get a great deal, 30-40% off of, retail price for a property, go in, put some money in the renovation, and turn a huge profit on it.
Do you happen to know cross streets on that or no?
It is north of Southern, and I want to say south of Young. So the main streets in there are Philadelphia, New York.
Yeah.
It's the very eastern border, before you hit Northern Parkway.
We going driving for dollars after
That's
this?
right.
I do want to drive by it because it is interesting, and I know people that are interested in buying in that area to live.
Well, it's exactly what we've been predicting. I mean, there's no more land, so Midtown's going out.
Right.
So I think it's going to hit Lamar at some point. I'm bullish. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there have been builders buying up vacant lots there.
I know, that's
and subdividing them, building two little homes, beautiful homes on
Yeah.
one vacant lot. So the opportunity is there for growth.
You think so? You think it's going to push Lamar?
Just like Jackson, same thing. Block by block. It's going to take a while, but it's going to get there.
Well, that's a good sign for Midtown. It's a good sign for Cooper Young area to see that it's thriving and growing. I mean, if you're busting into communities right next to it and redeveloping products or properties, then it's a great thing for those people in that area.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wendy, what else you got for us this morning?
Not much else. Foreclosures are still down. They continue to decline. We haven't seen any bump up there that they're expecting. Bank-owned property sales are down 35% from last April, but the average price on those is going up a little bit.
So that's all right. So we've talked that last stat you gave us that bank-owned properties are down. We've talked about this before. Do you think they're going to trickle out more foreclosures? I mean, do you think those are going to?
Everyone's estimating that this year we're going to see it bump back up. But I haven't seen any evidence of it in any of the notices that are
filed. We're almost halfway through the
filed.
year, and we haven't seen it yet.
We haven't seen any kind of bump.
Does that affect your BPOs? I mean, do you see that in your?
It can. They're down now.
They're down.
Yeah, and that's normal.
I know there's some other factors, but
yeah, the foreclosures. Yes, that is why they're down. I mean, they're not letting or releasing as many. We've talked about why the red tape that Obama administration put on releasing some of those. So. I wonder if we'll see some more. Yes, my BPOs tell me. Those are broker price opinions. Yeah. They give me kind of an indication of what these banks are doing and where if they start picking up, then I know that.
And every local bank that I've talked to, they don't. I mean, they might be sitting on one asset and they've made it work, sitting in their REO, like they're just cash flowing it, waiting for the right opportunity, but it's only like one, or two properties. Not like it's
banks act like when they have a property that they're holding on to, it's like electrocuting them every 5 minutes.
Right.
They're dying to get
rid of it. Right.
Let me get rid of this property. I can't stand it. So, Wendy, thank you so much for coming on.
Good to see you.
Really appreciate having you on as always. That is Wendy Greenlaw with Chandler Reports. Guys, log on to chandlerreports.com for all the latest news and information in our county's closings. Wendy, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so today, so far, we've been talking. We're actually on Facebook Live. You guys feel free to go to the Facebook page, the Memphis Real Estate Hour, and join us. I see our assistant Emily Wallace has joined us. So say hi to Emily. We've been talking about the myth understandings between you and financial wealth. I love this topic because it gets you kind of off the couch. It gets you moving and it gets you motivated.
Promotes action.
Yeah. Let's go back to this one of the things I mentioned earlier. But I don't need to be an investor. My job will take care of my financial wealth. That's
probably the biggest.
That's the biggest one. Hey, Dean, why do I need to invest in real estate? I'm already making 6 figures in my job, and I've got a 401k, and we're saving some money every month. I mean, it seems risky to put all your eggs in essentially one basket.
Yeah. I think that that job should be the catalyst, kind of like your seed money or your initial money to get involved in investing. Whatever that might be. The 401k, that's great and all, but I mean you can't touch that till 59 and a half.
Right.
And so I think that's the age. I don't even but most people overspend and underinvest. That's kind of the mentality. So we need to, keep pushing for that, hey, cut back on your spend.
Right.
And then invest in things so that, build it now, pay you later kind of mentality, right? Instead of just consume, and then you're left with, nothing left in the coffers, down the road.
Right.
So I think that's where we get hung up on. My job's going to take care of me. Well, yeah, I mean, it's taking care of the bills.
Right.
But you're not building something.
No.
So, and how many people I try to think who that was the other day, was talking about they were retired and they had to go back to work, or were about to retire. I've heard about 2 or 3 stories just in the last week. Couldn't because all their eggs were in the stocks and they were banking on that stock just going, whatever, keeping its returns. So there was no,
Plan B.
Plan B, a foundation, where you had residual income through assets and different things, and so they're working well into their 70s. I mean, this guy was 75 years old, and it's because he lost, half his portfolio, and so he's just scared to death to try to live off what he had left. And, he's trying to build it back up.
Yeah,
so.
I can't. A lot of people say, "Well, Dean, I got a lot of my money tied up into the market."
Mm-hmm.
That's fine and well. I mean, people become billionaires from the market,
right.
but there's a lot of risk in that. Some people like to look at real estate as a risk, but when I compare it to the stock market, I don't feel it's a risk at all. I mean, when we buy a home, we go through our process, close it, get it occupied. We've got homeowners insurance.
Yeah.
Even for rental properties, you got homeowners insurance. So what's the worst thing that can happen? I mean, a fire and a death.
Right.
I guess that's the worst possible
Insurance,
thing. Yeah, your
yeah.
insurance covers that for you. Or if it's a natural thing, a tornado or whatever it may be that would destroy your initial investment, your insurance is there to cover you up. I guess you can insure your stocks by shorting, different stock, but otherwise, how do you really insure your risk in the market?
Right.
I don't know that you can.
So the other thing with the real estate that I think is interesting is, we've talked a lot about turnkey and buy right and all that stuff. Well, at the end of the day, even if you bought wrong in real estate, think about this: at some point, the market will catch up.
Yes, eventually.
On your initial investment.
Mm-hmm.
It might take 20 years, but at least that asset, is worth what you paid for it at some point in the future.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could get scammed out of just paying just
but I mean
300% of what a value of property. I'm talking more of, if we talk turnkey and it's 20% over value by certain certain people out there. So.
We're live in the studio with Dan Butler, CrestCore Realty. We're talking about the 8 myth understandings between you and financial wealth. We've covered a lot of good topics. I'm excited about this one here. It's the best investments require knowledge most people don't have. This is one I do get. The best investments require knowledge most people don't have. It doesn't necessarily, I don't know that that's true. I mean, even if you don't have knowledge in real estate, that's why we're here, right? I mean, This is why I come on the air. This is why we talk about how to educate yourself. We use the website biggerpockets.com. That's like our guide of how to. So we're really loyal to that website. But I think if you educate yourself, I don't know that anybody just knows something, right?
I mean,
it's not like walking. I mean, you got to educate yourself.
So look at it like this: if you don't know it and you just go out and do it, it's kind of like gambling.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
You go to. That's like me going to the slots or what what is that? What is that? Craps or something like that. I have no idea what that. I could watch a couple times and start doing it, but I would lose my shirt.
Yeah.
And funny story. Like I think it was a week or two ago. I was talking about flipping a house or something like that to my wife. Her response, "You're not a flipper." I was like, well, I work with a lot of flippers, and we rehab their houses, and I could flip, but but I don't know anything about flipping. You know what I mean? Like, I could do it,
sure,
but I need to educate myself, partner with some people,
market, what's good, what's not,
understand the numbers, just like Wendy was just talking about. Understand what's the upside and downside. I think I got the rehab piece figured out. I know what my costs are going to be. But I'm not a flipper. I don't, that's not what I've done. I just buy and hold. So can I get there? Yes. But, as I just said, today I'm going to go take Wendy's advice and go buy a house. Go buy in that Southern or New York
Arlington area.
Yeah, just go buy a house today. Say, I'm going to flip this house, I'm going to lose my shirt, like literally.
Probably need to have some guidance in whatever you're doing and educate yourself. So I think that, the best investments require knowledge most people don't have is definitely a myth. You can go find that knowledge. I don't know that it's born into you, but you can definitely go find it and locate it. Here's another myth. Investing is risky. I'll lose my money. Investing is risky. I'll lose my money. That's if anybody hesitates, that's one of the things they go to. Well, I only have X amount of dollars.
Right.
I can't afford to take any chances with it.
Well, I went to Philadelphia a couple weeks ago, or now it's been over a month ago, but a guy speaking there, we were just talking about getting pulled forward.
Right.
He really talked about the difference between investing and speculation, or speculating.
Mm-hmm.
Investing, you're saying, all right, I got some upside, but my downside is minimal, right? Speculation looks like you can. I mean, think how many. I've had this happen this last month. 2 different investors going to buy these apartments that are in the middle of a terrible area, and they're like, well, it's got a 35% return.
Yeah, on paper.
To me, that's speculation. You know what I mean? Like, if it's too good to be true,
then it is.
Then it is, right? And that's what I try to. You're trying to graciously walk them through, like, sir, I'd love to take your money. I'd love to rehab 100 units, which, I mean, I think I told you about that, one of our core values, long-term partnership versus short-term transaction.
Yeah.
If I wanted to just make that money, I would have taken that deal
right then
and said, buy that apartment, buy that 100 units. I'm going to rehab all 60 of the vacants.
Yeah.
But I just know that long-term, that's not going to be the right thing for him. That it is not going to be a 30% return. He'll be lucky to get 10.
Yep.
But he's got all his investors lined up thinking they're going to get 30. What do you think? How do you think it's going to play out?
Horribly.
It's going to be terrible.
Yeah, it won't play out.
It won't play. It'll have a bad ending. So I think that's where, but investing in something that's proven, that others have done it. Just take a simple buying a house. You go meet at MIG. We've talked about all the different resources we've thrown out there.
Yep.
Meet with you, meet with our team, meet with other teams. Just somebody that you can trust. I mean, the key word there is trust. That you can find that will lead you the right way. And it's got a reputation. That is going to.
Yeah, it's built more than just a phone conversation. I talk to investors every day, and some days 2 and 3 times I'm talking to new investors. And one of my go-to conversations is about the house that I give them, the particular home, what kind, and how good it is. I often go back to, I'm doing this for a selfish reason, Mr. Investor. I want to earn real estate commissions.
Yeah,
that's
how
my
you get
job.
paid, right?
That's how I earn a living, and that's how I get paid.
Right.
You're not, you might give me 1 real estate commission, but you're not going to give me 2, which is essentially buying another home, if the first one's not
bad,
good.
Yeah.
And we're not going to go to 3 if 2's not good, and so on. So I'm always as good as my last house, and that's it.
Which is such an interesting. I just feel like so many people miss that.
Yeah, because they don't. A lot of people, when I give them a fee, they see just a fee and just a number, and they don't think, hey, what is he doing for that fee?
Right.
How he's controlling the fee. You know what you're paying, and you also know that I want 100 of those fees from you. You know what I mean? I tell investors that,
right.
Hey, if you want to buy 20 houses here in the city, then I want all 20 commissions.
Right.
I want to make every one of those, but I'm only going to get to number 20 if 19 is good and 18 and so forth. So it's part of my message that I'm preaching to new investors to Memphis and even experienced investors in Memphis is, it's the long-term relationship versus just, one transaction.
Well, on that investing risky, losing money, we always talk about you make your money going in. So what is our key phrase we always talk about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We always talk about
buy right. You make your money going in. And the concept there is you don't need the market to bail you out.
No.
I was talking to a guy in Nashville yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how I forget these conversations and just
they pop right
up, like just how many you have in a week. But he was talking about how the market in Nashville is so different than here, and it's a speculative market. They are losing. He's got friends that are losing money every week, every month.
Yeah.
And because they're waiting for the area around Vanderbilt, that's going to keep appreciating 20%, 30% a year.
Right.
That's got to stop at some point, right?
Eventually.
It's like a pyramid scheme. I almost got caught in one of those in college.
Multi-level marketing.
Multi-level marketing, where I just don't want to. As long as you're the one that started it.
Right. Oh, then you're doing great.
You're doing great.
Yes.
But you're anywhere in between. There's so much potential to lose. So
your time and
your timing. You're timing it. You're waiting on the timing. So
yeah.
That's not that to me. That's speculation. And I don't want to. You know how I am about absolutes, but I'd hope to say I'd never speculate on a deal. I want to be, there's a way to be. One of our running buddies, I've been coaching him about there's a way to have calculated risk.
Mm-hmm.
Where you minimize your downside, but there is some upside,
Right.
But you got to learn it, got to go after it, and
make sure you're doing.
But if you don't do anything, what's going to happen?
Nothing.
You know?
Guys, I'm live here in the studio with Dan Butler with CrestCore Realty. We're going to take a real quick break, and then we'll come back and wrap the show up. You are listening to the Memphis Real Estate Hour on AM 990 Memphis. All right, guys, I'm here in the studio with Brad Sterling. Brad's been a part of the Memphis Real Estate Hour, but now we're with a new warranty company, Choice Home Warranty. Brad, tell me about it.
Yeah, Dean, Choice has been an industry leader in direct-to-consumer warranty sales. Now they've opened up a brand new real estate portal. Pricing begins at $420 and goes up to $550 with a low $65 trade call fee. We also have fabulous multi-year pricing, meaning you can get a 5-year warranty for the cost of 4. Call me at 901-870-2334 for more information.
Thank you, Brad. Choice Home Warranty, we're happy to have them part of the Memphis Real Estate Hour.
Griffin, Clift, Everton, and Mashmeyer, PLLC, is a full-service law firm with over 50 years of experience in the Memphis area. Real estate closings have continued to be the forefront of their law practice, which include residential, commercial, and development real estate transactions, drafting and negotiation of real estate contracts and leases, business information, preparation of wills, probate, and estate planning. Their firm represents a number of builders, developers, investors, and local lending institutions, and is approved to close transactions for most local banks and mortgage companies. In addition, they offer title search, title examination services, and title insurance through several well-established title insurance companies in the Memphis area, as well as Tennessee and Mississippi. They strive to offer services in a prompt and timely fashion while advising and representing clients in a zealous and professional manner. Should their offered services be of need, please contact William N. Griffin Jr. or any of their attorneys at 901-752-1133. They can also be found online at www.gcemlaw.com or on Facebook.
Is it a good time to buy or refi? Is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? Are interest rates going sky high soon? Hi, I'm Ludi Calloway, the mortgage lady at iBank Mortgage. I tell my customers to ask questions, get answers. So join me every Monday morning at 8 on AM 990 and I will tell you what's going on in today's still changing mortgage world. Remember, most people think about mortgages a few times in their lives. I think about them every single day. Tune in Mondays at 8.
Now here's the Mid-South weather from the News Channel 3 Severe Weather Center. Brought to you by Gossett Kia on Covington Pike. Family owned and operated.
Mostly sunny, continued warm. Temperatures in the mid-80s today with winds mainly from the west. Clear, not so cold tonight. We're in the mid-60s by daybreak. Back into the mid-80s on Wednesday. Watching for rain by Thursday night. Don't wait until the heat becomes overwhelming. Have Air and Heat Service check your home's cooling system. Call 662-838-8088 to learn more about preventive maintenance. I'm News Channel 3's Todd Demers on AM 990.
AM 990, streaming live at kwam990.com.
Welcome back to the Memphis Real Estate Hour. I'm your host, Dean Harris. I'm with CrestCore Realty. Guys, we are on Facebook Live this morning. It's going to be a new feature of the show. I encourage you to log on to the Memphis Real Estate Hour Facebook page and join us. So we're going to be doing this every week.
You can sit a little closer when your legs heal.
Yeah, when I'm off this knee scooter, I think we'll be able to.
Did you get that in? Yeah, you can see your foot.
Yeah, hello. Well, all right. I am in the studio with Dan Butler with CrestCore Realty. We are talking about the 8 misunderstandings between you and financial wealth. We have covered a ton of myths and tried to get you a little motivated this morning. Here's another myth, Dan. Successful investors are able to time the market. Man, if we could do that.
I know, we'd be billionaires.
Yeah, I wouldn't be sitting here doing this radio show. Probably. Or if I was, I'd be doing it from the beach somewhere.
That's right.
We could time the market. Yeah, call in the show. Successful investors are able to time the market.
You know, I think that the way I would say that, what I would kind of counter that is like, is there some timing of market? Yes. Like there's always deals coming and going, just like Wendy was just.
Yeah.
I mean, they're every month it goes up and down, up and down, or sometimes it's up, and then down, up.
Yep.
So just being there on the sideline ready. I think you've heard me, for years, there might be a month, maybe 2 months that Douglas and I wouldn't buy anything.
Yeah.
But then 4 houses would come that were the best deal ever.
Yeah. And get them.
Couldn't live without them, kind of thing. So we'd buy 4 houses at one time. Whereas for 2 months we didn't buy anything, so it felt like we weren't making any progress. But I think that having time in the market versus just having patience, that's 2 different things. Patience, sitting on the sideline ready, having your money ready, having your investors ready. I mean, we had a deal come through this weekend that Tina was working on that. It was such a great deal. I mean, a guy said, "Let me call my investor buddies and we'll get the cash together
and do it." Yeah.
That's taking action. You know what I mean? That's not. They're not timing the market. That's just
taking action.
There's a difference.
There's a difference in timing, and when you see something that meets. That's why I tell my investors, hey, when I first talk to them, I don't hold inventory.
Right.
So I'm not going to be able to send you 20 houses tonight. You don't want those houses. Those have been picked over and they've been seen. I go out and turn into a chameleon and find what you're looking for. And when I do, you got to move.
Right.
You got to be ready and you got to move. So yes, that is to me, it's recognizing. I guess to go back to able to time the market, you are able to time the market if I should. This is going a little different direction, but if you're ready. If you're ready and you know what your product is,
it's your timing,
it's your timing. It's not market's timing.
Yeah.
You create it and make it your own timing. All right. How about this myth? All the good investments are taken. That's what I do get that. Well, if everybody's here buying, what's left?
What's left?
What's left?
Right.
Let's talk about that one. All the good investments are taken. I know we don't believe that.
To me, think of it this way: there's economic forces, election, or city council raises taxes, whatever stuff that we can't control. I mean, we have some control because we elect people and different things, but we can't. There's 9/11 attacks. There's all kinds of life. But that's what I was going. So then there's personal forces. Economic forces, personal forces. Personal. What is it? The 4 Ds: death, divorce, disability, debt. I think I'm missing a D. But anyway, you get the point. Marriage, relocation, all those kind of things tied together. What does that mean?
Right.
There's always going to be deals.
That's right.
Right?
Always.
I mean, I was just attorney emailed me yesterday, said, hey, got this deal coming down, going to foreclose on tomorrow. Do you want it? Do you want to be a part of it? And I wasn't looking for, what I mean?
But you were ready when you found something.
Ready to find. I said, let me look at this, and this, but if it makes sense, we'll do it. So there's always going to be
deals.
Always going to be deals. Yes.
Guys, we have been talking this morning about the 8 myth understandings between you and financial wealth. I've had Dan Butler in the studio with me. We've had a lot of fun this morning. We have been on Facebook Live today, so we're going to continue to do this every week. It's going to be an added feature of the show. I just think it gives you guys another way to find us, to listen to us.
Helps international investors. I think they're going to love this.
Yeah, the international investors, of course, and my national guys from the West Coast, if they can get up early enough, then they'll be able to join
6 a.m.
That's right.
That's what they want to listen to in the shower.
That's right.
Dan and Douglas.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to the Memphis Real Estate Hour. We will be back next Tuesday at 8 a.m. Thank you for joining us on Facebook Live. Thanks for listening here at AM 990 Memphis. You caught the Memphis Real Estate Hour on AM 990 Memphis.
Thanks, Dean.
AM 990 KWAM, your news and information station with CBS News updates every hour on the hour. KWAM Memphis.